Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are out at Mission Raceway Park with the GT500, going to hit the drag strip for the first time. So let's get into the staging lanes. Alright, so here we go in the staging lanes, getting ready for the first pass in the GT500. So launch control is super easy. I'm not too worried about that. I drove around a bunch yesterday, practiced with the line lock. I actually learned something pretty cool. You can actually initiate the sequence as long as you're going below a certain speed. So I can actually start it on my way into the water box there and get going. So hopefully no hiccups. A little nervous. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've primarily been drag racing either my Challengers or my Trackhawks. So this is a completely different experience. Interface with the car is quite a bit different, but we'll see. If I run a 10 anything today, I'll be really happy with that. We're just on the stock Sport Cup 2s. Got them aired down to 24 PSI, so let's see what happens, guys. Oh, it's stuck for 2000. Let's go. All right. Wow. So it was 2000 RPM off the launch control. The launch control in this car works amazingly well. It actually just figured it right out. So it's stuck, didn't blow the tires off. We'll go to a higher RPM on the next launch and go from there. I might have to put some air in these tires. I got to do a little research to see why the line lock doesn't want to work. Might have something to do with the tires being low, but we'll figure that out. So we'll get the time slip right now, see what our first run was. It's exciting. 11:102 at 128.55. I'm happy with that as a start. 1.80 60 foot on street tires. So like I said, 24 PSI in the tires, 2000 RPM off the launch control. Let's add some more RPM for the next launch and see what happens. 128.55 miles an hour. I actually brought my HP tuners with me because I want to data log the car, because something a lot of people don't know, on the west coast of Canada, we have the worst fuel in North America. So we can get, like, we have Chevron's got 94 octane, but it does not perform as well as, say, a US 91 or 92. So I want to see if the car's pulling timing, but I don't have the channels and all that set up. So I'll see if I get some time, see if I can get the channels figured out and data log the next pass here. I'd like to see if the car's pulling timing, but yeah, I'll check in with you guys shortly. All right, guys, so we're in the lanes getting ready for our second run. Move the launch control up from 2000 RPM to 2500 RPM. See if it sticks again. Try to get into that 10. And I'm racing my buddy Don's CUDA here. He's got a 9-second CUDA, super impressive car. I'm gonna get killed, but it's gonna be a really cool race. Traction control off. Okay. Cover button, track apps, line lock. Hold OK to initialize. There we go. Traction control back on. Put it into drag strip mode. There's definitely a bit of a delay off the Okay, so at 2500, definitely spun there. That's probably going to be a 2-second 60-foot or higher. I think that's going to be a worse run than the first one for sure. Go back down to 2000 RPM. So the other thing I've heard about, which is super weird, is this delay with the launch control, and it was really noticeable there. So you let your foot off the brake, and it's still holds you there for about a second before it goes anywhere. So pretty interesting. But we'll get the time slip right now, see what it says. Run definitely wasn't as good as the first, that is for sure. Okay, so 11,354 at 127.8, 1996 60 foot. So definitely slowed down in the 60, slowed down in the quarter, lost about 2 miles an hour. We'll get it cooled down, bring the launch control RPM back down for the next run and see what happens. Well guys, it's now the next day. As you can see, didn't get the third run on camera. What happened was it was getting late, started to sprinkle a little bit, thought everything was gonna get shut down. So we aired the tires back up, packed back up. We're getting ready to leave and they called us down. So we went and made a third run. Wasn't very good. I'll tell you, get to that in a second, but there's a few things that I noticed editing this video. So let's pull up the gauge cluster on the first run again here. So you'll notice before I said I left at 2000 off the launch control. That's what I had the launch control set to. As you can see, the launch control icon's not up and it left from 1000 RPM. So that's just what the car typically does when you foot brake it. So the launch control wasn't actually active. Super interesting, because that was the best run of the day without the launch control. That was the 1110. Now I'm gonna grab the time slips here. So 11102 at 128.55. Second run was the 11354 at 127.84. And then the third run was an 11.525, horrible run, spun like crazy, but once again at 128.55. So I feel like I let the Shelby guys down a little bit on this one. Definitely got to get some more miles on the car. It just rolled over 1,000 kilometers coming back from the track, or about 600 miles. So I still think it's going to speed up a little bit that way. I think I'm gonna have to go to an 18 on the back and a real slick. I just couldn't get the car to stick yesterday. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got a bunch more coming. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.